show.
Yes, it is.
You've heard all the other wrestling programs. Now it's time to listen to the guys who aren't booty.
And you can't beat that.
It's hashtag WrestlePals.
There ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor. Top down, we're ready to go. To all the people across every nation, turn it up and give me some more.
Oh, goodness gracious. We said boss and then legit, and that made me happy. That made it all worth
upside
it.
down.
Hey, everybody. What's one thing?
Whatever.
Hey, let me take off these knucks before fighting. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's hashtag WrestlePals.
That's us.
That's it's us.
Mm-hmm.
And who are we? Oh, hey, it's hashtag WrestlePal Justin. Forgot your name for a minute. Sorry, it's been a while. Hi, Justin. How are you? I'm sorry. Don't want to mess up the branding. Oh, hi, Justin. How are you?
Terrific.
Good.
Do you know why?
What?
Because every day above ground is another day that I get to say, I love Liv Morgan! Ugh! From the rooftops, shout it out.
Wait, what? You like Republica too? Is that what it is? Is that
Wow,
it?
wow, wow.
Hi, I'm
Baby, I love Liv Morgan!
Wait, what? Well, no, I heard
From
you.
the rooftops, shout it out.
Hold, please. On a serious note, I'm hashtag WrestlePal Nate. Hello.
Oh, hi, Nathan.
No. It's Oh Hi Justin. That's the branding. Nate for branding. Oh Hi Justin.
Have you ever wanted to know, like, how much people don't care about you? Start a Patreon.
That's the dangers, Justin.
Whatever, I'm having fun.
Good. Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin. The home, the repository of all things Justin Wilson.
It's true. You know what? I think Oh Hi Justin the Pod. What, you hear the gunshots in the background?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Almost as if today's some sort of special day.
we'll get there.
Okay.
I think the 23rd. Yeah, the 23rd. You know what? Maybe it'll be the 21st. I'll do like a little short one. Might be the launch of the Oh Hi Justin Pod.
The test pod.
Yeah, because do you know what the 21st is?
What's the 21st, Justin?
Jenny knows. It's Justin Wilson Day! Bailey's excited.
God damn it. Oh.
Another week. Another day we out-talk the intro.
Well, I just love that it was the hype for Justin Wilson Day.
Mhm.
And then Bailey's like, nah, we're out.
She is my ex after all. Hey, you got an old can. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I just mean
it was fresh enough
get
for
the,
me.
the new can. Clinkies.
Yeah, whatever. I drank it like 10 minutes ago. I couldn't wait for the show. Sorry.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
You gonna ice down the Zions?
Because I have class, Nathan. Don't mind me.
Justin,
Yes.
something special about today? Is that why we're hearing all the gunfire outside?
No, that's typical in this part of Hampton.
It's fair enough. Can I say that I watched a wrestling show this past week that I haven't watched in a while, and I've been wrong, and it's been
I tell you
it's been bad.
all the time
What?
that you should watch it.
You already know where I'm going, don't you? Because I was excited, wasn't I?
Yeah.
God
You
damn.
you actually said something to me in between last week and this week.
Oh, that was to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was the Slack group.
Okay, fair enough.
Technically, I am in there, so
Mhm.
yes.
Yes. Justin,
Yes.
while I did peruse Raw, while I have taken peeks at SmackDown, 205 Live, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. Holy. Have you seen that? No?
I haven't watched 205 Live yet.
Oh, okay. By all
'Cause
means.
that's not where you were going.
I know that wasn't where I was going.
Because 205 Live, good, not as good since the tournament
Yeah.
ended.
I watched NXT for the first time in a little while. this
Hey,
past
Chris
week.
and Jerry, how are you guys? Hello.
Hello. You want to know why I watched it? I got excited for Mustache Mountain. After the UK tournament, we perused through that. We saw this. Yes, very nice.
I want to hate Tyler Bate.
I know you do, but you can't, can you? He's adorable, and then he picks people up and throws them around.
Yeah.
And then he brought his dad with him, too, which is nice. Trent Seven's my favorite now. I've been wanting to see more of him.
Yeah.
Like ever since since he was first introduced, it always felt like, oh, okay, we're getting Pete Dunne. I'm like, okay, I like Pete Dunne. We're getting Tyler Bate. Cool. I want to see the old guy. Let me see the old guy wander around a little bit. I'm excited. My people. And he gets in there. He's like a little. He's not quite as Abby. He's just a muscular old. He's the mentor of British Strong Style, and
Yes.
I freaking love him.
He's great.
He's my favorite. Dude, so I don't know how I ended up watching NXT. I just happened to have I had the network on because we happened to be perusing through some of the ride-alongs,
Oh,
which I'm very excited to go into this week. I haven't checked it out yet. Rusev Day in a car? I haven't checked it out yet. But
And the Iconics in the other.
oh, for Christ's sake.
That'll be fun.
Because I gotta tell you, the ride-along, fantastic show, but we watched like the New Day one, right? New Day,
Which one?
fantastic. The most recent one where Big E's making pancakes in the backseat. He gets syrup all over himself, and they call him Sweet Leg.
Sweet leg.
Fantastic. But the other segment was Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, let's have some chemistry. Let's go. I tell you about the time I found a gun. No, you found a
Right
gun?
right before you came back.
Yeah, I know, right? I remember him being on Twitter pissed off about that. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you sons of bitches! Like, all I wanted to do was get a car. You gave me a gun. Why? He was very upset and very passionate, Shelton Benjamin. I enjoy that. He was not in that car this time around.
Yeah.
They had finished the show, and they're like, oh, we got to do the show? Can you put it? Like, come on, man.
How has the Riot Squad not been on Ride Along yet? Now, people keep asking Liv that, and Liv keeps saying, how do you know we haven't? So maybe they already filmed it, and it just hasn't aired.
Or maybe she's just starting. She's starting mess, as she's wont to do.
I'm scared because she's really catching on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is it, or is it just you? Or is it just you and your obsession?
Nah, man. She is going to be a star. I mean, she's only 3 years in, like, as a wrestler,
Uh-huh.
but she has...
Her wrestling ability is far exceeding what you would normally expect from 3 years in.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
She's got massive star potential
Mm-hmm.
written all over. And she's under the guidance of Ruby Riot.
And
Which-
let's not act like Sarah Logan is like some newcomer too.
Yeah.
She's got two amazing vets who were not just some people that made it in wrestling, people that made it in indie wrestling,
Yep.
where you have to create your own name and be your own advocate because who the hell else is gonna?
Yeah. So,
So,
she's
yeah.
definitely she's on the road with the right people to learn, and she's got nothing but potential.
Yeah.
And this week she got the shine a little bit.
Oh?
Yeah, because Ruby unfortunately hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a long injury, but probably about a month. She's probably on the shelf for about a month.
That's cool. He, honestly, if you give me more Sarah Logan, give me more Sarah Logan, give me more Liv Morgan
Yeah.
as a tag team, even keeping Ruby as a mouthpiece,
Yeah, and
Or-
in
or
the,
give him a goddamn vignette.
in the meantime, they're getting to shine, and
Uh-huh.
because Ruby's been fantastic,
Because she's unstoppable.
she's set.
She makes everybody look great around her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and you saw that. I'm sure you saw that. You had to have seen that. There was an Instagram post by Ruby Riot
Yeah,
showing that she was injured, and it's like, hey, here are my bros, for lack of a better term, and they won't leave me. Here I'm injured.
happy 4th.
Hmm?
And Christopher Brown said happy 4th.
4th of what? Why? 4th of what?
It's a 1, 2, 3, 4th
4th.
of July. Tomorrow's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th of July.
Happy 5th of July tomorrow.
Bray Wyatt is. Yeah, we were gonna get there. Actually, you know what? Let's do that right at the top.
Fair enough.
Bray Wyatt was in a car accident.
Yeah. Did you hear more about that?
Basically, not negligence, just not paying attention, I guess. So I mean, when I read the
Just because you can watch porn on the iPad in the passenger seat doesn't mean you should. And you certainly should keep your pants on.
Well,
That's just life. That's not for him. That's life advice from me.
I don't know. Pants
This is
off
totally
for,
separate.
Pants
What?
off for life. But the
Yeah, but you can't put your hand in them while you. Oh, you don't wear them. Yeah, I forget sometimes.
Like he's still breathing, not to mention the fact he's in deep S for causing an accident recently.
Yeah, I saw that he was cited.
Uh-huh. I honestly don't.
Uh,
It's not good. Obviously, it's not a good look.
Uh-huh.
But nothing happened to Jeff Hardy, who was under the influence.
Yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put yet because it's a new WWE where they're a little more. I don't want to say holistic about it, but they're a little more like instead of immediate ostracism. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna get a running start.
Mm.
Immediate ostracization. Nope.
Ooh.
Ostracization.
Sure.
Anytime? Yeah.
Turn him into an ostrich?
Yeah. Instead of
Okay.
being putting your head right in the sand right away,
Yeah.
they're a little more like, all right, we're watching you, and it's not immediate out the door. But I got a feeling Jeff is gonna be potentially dropping that title, and
Oh, he's definitely dropping the title.
which is interesting because they're finally letting him be a weirdo, be a weird character.
He's not Jeff anymore.
Who?
Exactly. He's Weird Jeff.
Ah,
Weird Jeff.
weird Jeff.
Help, Weird Jeff.
He's so weird, so weird.
And so Jeff.
So Jeff, you have no idea. I got my eyes closed, but I can see things. This is weird. I'm weird, Jeff. It's terrible. But positives of that, if Bray is in a little bit of trouble, maybe they want to set him aside for a little bit. I mean, Matt Hardy can do whatever he wants by himself because
I mean, the only.
he basically came out of the ring and was like a lawn sprinkler with.
Yeah.
Like he did a full circle. It's like he's just every week. It's another iteration of weird, weird Matt, weird Jeff. So
I was hoping storyline wise,
Mhm.
the B team was because they're building them. They're building them up big. They're getting lots and lots of wins.
feels
going
like
into this.
it feels like they're setting us up for failure. Like win. Oh, I lost the big one. Oh darn. But if Bray's in trouble,
Well, see, the thing is, I thought they were going to lose the big one and end up getting deleted.
Yeah.
And end up coming out as the Weird Four Horsemen,
weird 4 horsemen.
which
Okay.
I still want the Weird Four.
Everybody wants the weird 4.
But I don't know if. I guess it depends on how much trouble Bray's in. Again, like, yeah, there's probably some legal trouble, but there's no drugs or alcohol.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just basically just being a shitty driver. Essentially, is what it boils
and
down to.
he's living on the road all the time.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not a good look.
It's hard to not allow distractions to take you away for a minute.
Yeah.
Remove your concentration from the situation.
I don't. I mean, unless
You've had those long drives where it's like
somebody got hurt. I mean, other than him,
Yeah.
I don't see where the trouble is. Like the massive trouble, anyway.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
the months being written off of television trouble.
it's one of those things where if he was just in like a singles program that was just had time and wasn't really going anywhere at the moment, or just starting up,
Mhm.
or just kicking up, it wouldn't have even noticed. It would have been a week off, and it's like, all right, we're just not going to push that storyline this week.
Mhm.
Ramp it up next week, going into the pay-per-view, be fine. But it's like, no, we have 3 other dudes that still need to advance the storyline, so you're just not going to be there
Yeah.
this week. Sorry.
Well, I mean, he was also hurt, so he couldn't be there.
How hurt? You hear any word on that yet?
I mean, I don't
I have
think it's
not.
anything like major, but it was
Shook
major
up?
enough to
Potential
keep him off the television.
concussion? Or?
I don't think it's anything like that either.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything official.
Yeah. The only thing I saw official was he was officially cited for
Yeah.
the accident, so found at fault. Or, again, cited.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Doesn't necessarily
Being
assign fault. It means, you're probably at fault, dude.
again, that could just be as simple as just rear-ending somebody, like
Mhm.
not paying attention and bumping somebody from behind.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it has to be at a reasonable speed since he got hurt.
I mean, it was a car full of infants, though. It's terrible.
Ooh.
I don't know why one of them was driving. It was 3 of them. They were in like a long trench coat.
Talk about the evergreen stuff. This is so evergreen.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it came up in conversation, so that's how we do things here.
Don't sleep on NXT, dude.
No shit.
I let it go because it's not
I
live.
watch it every week.
Which is weird because I don't usually watch Raw or SmackDown live, but NXT is because it's kind of pre-recorded for the most part, it's easy to go, it's not live. It doesn't mean as much.
I'll
But then
watch it
every-
as soon as I get home. Though.
Every single time I watch it, it's always, Christ, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And from top to bottom, I mean, just this past week, just to give a glimpse of it, if you haven't watched in a while, if you've watched the Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano storyline come and go, and probably still a little bit hanging on there, the Ciampa coming out smack talking Aleister Black,
Yes.
and I hate to say this, but as Aleister Black is champion, he's kind of taken a step back to the Ciampa Gargano storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell that story forever and ever. You know, as much as the crowd chants "fight forever,"
Yeah.
they can't. So who's going to move on? Ciampa. Ciampa moving on, moving past the Gargano situation.
Gargano didn't though.
I know, dude. I know. Which
Does
plays
that mean it's a 3-way or?
well, again, with the beauty of that, though, that plays more into later in the story because NXT is doing a good job of having a level of continuity. Even if it's loosely based, they're telling one big. This is the story of NXT.
Yeah.
Now-
Does Johnny cost Ciampa his shot,
Maybe.
or does it become a 3-way because Ciampa cost Johnny?
And
There's a lot to
and
tell.
I'm still waiting to see the how that interplays with Candace.
Hello, Holly. Hello, Ellie.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
But then the like match wise of the night, they had. I love seeing dudes at the beginning of kind of gimmick stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He had what's his name, Kona Reeves.
Remember last year? I was like, "There's something about this dude."
Yeah.
And you need that. It's just like the first time I saw Patrick Clark. You need that next evolution of the character.
Uh-huh.
He needs some fine tuning, but there's
Definitely.
something there.
It's something that he feels comfortable playing, and he's playing the rich, arrogant playboy. I'm better than you, dude.
Yeah.
A very common trope to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, what do we got for you? I don't know. Man, here's a suit jacket.
The finest.
Here's some trunks and a suit jacket. Go have fun, kid.
He's the finest.
And he's
But I
out
like
there.
the Hawaiian drop. Like it's like that's the finish. The Hawaiian drop. It's like a Samoan drop on crack, essentially. I think that's taken a little bit too far, but
A little bit.
it's gunfire.
That was
We're safe.
absolutely gunfire.
We're safe. Don't
Yes, they're on our side, probably, maybe.
worry. Possibly.
What side are we on?
The Brits.
Really?
Mhm.
Really?
Mhm.
Stephen Regal, William Regal. I like both of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. That's enough to sell me on it.
Well,
Did we
don't
get
you love
Finley
Trent
with that?
Seven?
Who?
Trent Seven.
Oh, they're later on in NXT. by the
Mhm.
way. Look at you steering back. Then after that, I think we had this one little transition, and this is what I talk about the continuity of storyline stuff. It may benefit from them being able to go back and edit later to have a kind of flow. But they had like the interview with Gargano,
Yeah.
and he almost somberly says, "Candice LeRae is my favorite wrestler." You could tell that's something he would say like months ago and be all about it.
He
you know?
says it all the time.
Yes. But it was something different about it this time. There was some stank on it.
Yeah.
And Gargano still saying with I'm not finished with him yet. I don't
Yeah.
know what they're going to have to do. And I'm sure that'll get some intervention at some point. Where you're going to have to move on, and he can't. And it's
Yeah.
going to cost him. And it's going to cost him big.
Nathan Derwinski, Ciampa is arguably the number one heel in the entire WWE right now. I'd make the you say arguably. I don't know if there is an argument. I don't think that there is another pure heel on the roster anywhere.
There's nothing cool about him.
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
The problem with most of the like heel work is like there's something redeemable, something you like, something you can
Owens.
admire. The beauty of the admirable heel is they're living some weird fantasy that you can't. The cockiness, the overt, the just say whatever you want and damn the repercussions, because there are no repercussions because you could back it up.
Yeah.
Or you're chicken shit. You run away from all of your responsibilities. All of these are weird fantasies somewhere deep in the psyche that you don't get to embrace on your own, or if you do, you're kind of an ass. But these people get to be asses for a living. You get to live through them. The cool heel, and that's how they end up being cool. Ciampa, do you want to be Ciampa? Don't
I
look
wanna
at
boo
don't
him.
Please don't look at my haircut and my beard and ask me.
The man we dare not mention.
Do not.
What about McIntyre and Ziggler? I still put Ciampa above them.
Well, I mean,
McIntyre,
Ziggler did yell at you in a parking lot, so he's got even
when
with
he
that
was a good
edge.
guy.
Even with that edge,
When he was a good guy, he
when he
yelled
was a
at me.
good guy.
He's like, "You scumbag, get away from me!" I was like, "Oh,
Beat it! I wear. How'd you recognize me? As I wear a jacket with my name on it. I wore my own gear.
McIntyre has that ability,
McIntyre,
but
cool as shit though. Yeah, you can't hate it. You see that's all I was worried about. It's like, ooh, I hope they don't mess up that jacket.
yeah,
As he gets in the ring, I could tell he went and bought that jacket. It's like, can you bring in the sleeves a little bit? You bring in the sleeves, please. Bring them in.
McIntyre has
No, all the way to here. I want them all the way into here, but I want it really, really tight.
he's accidentally becoming like the man.
Yeah.
I mean, no accident on his own, but like,
The more you try to make a man, the worse it ends up being.
and
So just let him be, dude.
he's gonna soar past Reigns. He's going to soar past him.
I think
They
initially
haven't even unleashed him yet.
when they did the first like here's Ziggler and McIntyre, they're kind of together. I felt like he took that mic and like soared past Ziggler like right away.
Oh, yeah.
As he cut that promo that was like a little too real,
Yeah,
and I got a feeling everybody kind of went what?
but he's doing what everybody says do.
But since then, I feel Ziggler has like, oh shit, I gotta work. What's up?
Yeah, the one. Can we get rude again? That we're gonna that thing that
Oh, Justin, no, don't no.
AJ Hoover asks, "What about Cody Rhodes?" We were specifically talking about the WWE.
Well,
And I don't know, is Cody the
It's-
best heel in the business?
it's hard to gauge on the different platforms, but Cody is beautifully slimy.
In New Japan, I'd argue that he's. I don't even know if he's the best heel in New Japan. Like he's a great pure heel in New Japan, but in ROH,
Well, he
Bullet
gets,
Club is very cool in America.
it's still kind of the beauty of Cody though, as far as his role and what he's doing. He's taking the Bullet Club, which has been here's the cool heels for us from our perspective. I really hope that in Japan they look at them as like the evil foreigners, like it might as well be goddamn Nikolai Volkov and all of the other Russian dudes in the '80s here. I hope they look at the Bullet Club like these guys again. I hope it's like that, but they're still the cool bad guys. Cody put a little bit of slime on that.
Yeah.
Making it a little dirty, making it a little evil, almost as he's like sucking in the evil, so the peripheral, periphery of the Bullet Club gets a little bit of that stank off of him, and all of a sudden, Kenny, and even the Young Bucks, who have been slimy monsters
Yeah.
for ages and ages, are kind of like, yeah, those guys are good. They're at least principled, and they wrestle very well instead of slimy Cody. So he's
The American Nightmare, like it's so
friggin' great.
yeah.
Even he said the other day it was what no one's prevented from using my last name. I'll do whatever the hell I want. What?
Also, start my own show called All Us.
What?
Yeah, he started a YouTube show called All Us.
I haven't heard hide nor hair of this.
I haven't seen it yet, but I have. You know, it's obviously all about All In.
Slimy monster. Oh, well, like if it's a docu-series on that, like kind of out of character a little bit, cool. But if it's self-aggrandizing as a dirty evil heel, fantastic. But again, there's a little bit of cool to Cody.
Yeah.
You have to have some respect for what he's doing because he isn't a dominant heel.
No.
Ciampa falls into a weird thing where he's not necessarily dominant, but he's vicious and awful. But sometimes he'll run and sometimes he'll fight. But he always takes advantage. It's almost like every opportunity for a low road he's going to take. Whether it's psychological, whether it's physical, whether it's attacking a wounded body part, whether it's throwing your goddamn wedding ring.
Yeah.
Psychological.
He's vile. He's a vile human being.
Whatever your weakest point is at that moment, that's what he ends up attacking. And maybe that's just the chemistry with Gargano. But I saw glimmers of that with Aleister Black.
Oh yeah.
Who, Aleister Black, fantastic, but I feel like he's been kind of overshadowed as the champion here lately. But they've let it sit on that back burner. Like, okay, let's let him. He's going to retain.
He's gonna simmer.
He's going to be great. He's going to be really good. We got to build up that credibility by giving it a little bit of longevity. And now I'm starting to buy into it, especially with, I'm sorry, Mr. Sullivan, sir,
Yeah.
Mr. Lars Sullivan. I'm very sorry about your draw. but that X-ray alone was enough to say Aleister Black's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the teeth were like misaligned, and you could see the crack. And it's like, oh my god! Like I hope that was doctored, and he isn't really. I hope Lars Sullivan just isn't with his mouth wired shut right now. Just
William Christensen
I mean, he was
tweeting.
what?
Have you seen that?
What?
His personal assistant, William Christensen, or is it his
Who's
attorney?
who's
Lars.
Lars has a personal assistant attorney?
And that's it's tweeting for Lars.
Look, I mean, obviously with a broken jaw, you can't type.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that the gimmick, dude?
Well, Lars is not going to talk about this anymore.
Lars is not going to talk.
This is William Christensen, his personal attorney, or whatever William Christensen is. You should get on Twitter more there, Nathan.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Hashtag WrestlePals.
I get nothing but notifications from
Ellie,
pretty much
Leslie,
her too. I get that from her.
me, Jenny.
Who? Oh,
Christopher Brown says, hell, even Corbin should be on that list. But even if he is below Ciampa, what's great is like,
Corbin's gotten better.
oh yeah,
Corbin's
he has.
gotten wonderfully smug, and I love it.
And what's great is like this should be awful. Constable Corbin should be terrible, but it's great. Like it is a nice evolution to what he was doing. Like it makes him much more smug.
It was pointed
Now
out.
he has power.
It was pointed out to me the most disturbing thing about him, not the vest, not the cockiness, because he's always had the cockiness.
Yeah.
He just hasn't had something to put that behind.
Mhm.
He hasn't been allowed to be the most dominant. He's very dominant, but he hasn't been allowed to be the most
He's
dominant.
never had power.
Now he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
The power he's flexing right now ain't physical. It's
It's the stroke.
it's yeah.
It's the pen, essentially.
It's pretty fantastic. But
Hey Nathan,
who?
it's for a friend.
I'm guessing that's somebody, right? She pointed out to me something that's gonna
She? Oh, now you know who she is?
cackling from the other room. God damn it. Look at Corbin's hairline.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you get a chance next time you're watching him on TV, see if that doesn't take you out of it. 'Cause all I can do is like look at that weird line on his head because I don't think he was really balding. I think
Oh,
the top
really?
of his head was a natural hairline. I mean, I might be a little biased. But apparently his temples, like, it's just hair all the way up to his eyebrows. And it's like a strong hairline, too. It's way out here, man. The dude damn near has, like, fins on the side of his head, like,
Okay.
right here, like this. But this is a normal hairline. He has a normal hairline, but the rest of his hairline is just way the hell out here.
Maybe his dome is just shaped weird.
No, it's his hairline.
Okay, fine.
He has a wonderful head.
Speaking of Balor, or
Who?
speaking of Corbin,
Oh, fins on the side of his
Finn
head.
Balor,
Oh, Christ almighty.
it was Ellie's birthday the other day.
Who? I know who that is.
And if only Finn would have tweeted us back. I tweeted Finn
Uh-huh.
to try to get a happy birthday for Ellie, and
Mm-hmm.
no dice. You're a real jerk, Finn Balor.
What?
How dare you, sir?
He has a bruise. He bruises easily.
I mean,
Leave him alone.
he's actually a really nice dude, but like,
I imagine. Another thing about Corbin, taking his heelishness into his own hands, and him and Finn having some back and forth on Twitter.
oh yeah,
Finn celebrating some holiday, I guess, posted another picture of his bruised ass, and told Corbin to kiss his red, white, and blue ass because it's red, white, and blue.
it's red, white, and blue day.
The
Red, white, and blue day.
I thought you said New Day.
New day. All this evergreen topic.
Ciampa, fantastic heel.
Uh-huh.
God damn it, we'll get there. Going back to the NXT thing, Candice LeRae, amazing,
Yes.
making Lacey Evans look amazing as well. And I had not heard Lacey Evans. I guess either
The
finisher.
finish?
Yeah,
Women's right.
the woman's right.
It's so terrific. It's so fitting. I can't believe it hasn't been done before.
Yeah,
It
dude,
is perfect.
and it fits the character so well. She's in America playing an evil American.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like if you know how when like they had Alexa start doing that, like she knocked her out with that punch. Jesus. If they had called it the women's right, even though it doesn't fit that character, I would have accepted it immediately. Been like, okay. Now I just want Lacey Evans to punch people in the face.
She's something special, man. Like
She,
it's not going to take long before she catches on.
which one? Candice
Well-
LeRae is already amazing, but
yeah,
Lacey
well,
Evans,
yeah. Lacey, yeah.
she's playing an amazing, like that top of the mid card. If there were like a deep depth to a women's
Mhm.
division, she's that top of the mid card gatekeeper. The
Yep.
kind of role that like Mickey James is like falling into.
Yeah.
But Mickey could easily be anywhere on the card. She's being the good vet and saying, I'm going to create some depth in this.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic. But that's for somebody like Lacey Evans to hit and be able to come up, be able to go down, be able to come up, be able to go down. Work as a gatekeeper. Like, this is who you got to get through, and if you can't get through her, it's a standing feud for any babyface coming through. She's amazing, fitting in one of those roles that is always something that's going to be necessary, always something that's going to be needed. Every match can't be a championship match, so she's ready to have a grudge with you.
Kane Kenny asks if there's any truth that NXT and 205 Live are going to Fox Sports. I haven't seen that. I have been wondering because obviously 205 Live right now is on right after SmackDown on Tuesdays. I don't know if that means it's going to move to Fridays with SmackDown and it's going to go ahead and air. We talked about this last week with Fox wants the full court press essentially. They want any and everything.
They're not playing around. They're not
Yeah.
they're not even calling this an entertainment show. They're saying this is sports programming. We're going to treat it like we treat sports programming. We're going to give it a big push and treat it like real live and sports programming. You don't put your entire machine behind that for just 2 hours when you could have 3, when you could have 4, when you can show this elsewhere, when you can that we're going to get wrestling promos during football.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to watch football, but yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's going to draw eyes into it.
Yes.
Somebody's going to be watching football and be like, shit, I haven't watched wrestling
Wrestling?
since the 80s.
Yeah.
This looks all right. Who's that dude in the mask? Why's that guy got a beard? They look angry. Why are they fighting each other? This is weird. What's the deal with these pancakes? I got to find out about these pancakes. Who else is on SmackDown?
Ty Dillinger?
I'm good. What? Okay, fine. Ty Dillinger's hair gets weirder every week, and I love it, and I don't know why.
I like he doesn't have the row thing anymore.
Yes, I never liked that.
Yeah.
It's like cool. It's standing out, and he's got the weird stuff on the sides of the head. Now his hair is laying down like he just, like he stole it off of a very dapper, tiny person. Like he scalped him and just put it on his head. Like this is me now. It's fantastic.
So,
Main event of the NXT thing.
Mhm.
This is what it has to be.
I'm
This-
still figuring out why we opened with all this.
I'm sorry.
We're nuts.
I'm saying you have to. You can't sleep on NXT. I do all the time, and every time I
You're
go back,
basically talking to yourself.
I'm rewarded. If there's other people that are like, oh, you know, I watch Raw, and it's a lot, and I'm tired.
I gotta be honest.
Raw can be skipped
Raw
at this point.
almost all the time can be skipped.
I feel like they've already made that turn with the Fox turn of making SmackDown the A show,
Yeah.
dude.
SmackDown is consistently better every week.
Yeah.
You're better served watching 2 hours of SmackDown
Mm-hmm.
and watching the 1 hour NXT.
And I'm what I feel bad about is there's so much good talent on Raw, and we only see a little bit of it, and I don't know why, and I don't know what it is.
It's Raw being Raw. Like I feel like every couple months this happens. Like they'll get this moment where
There are bright spots.
spectacle. Yeah, Braun is super spectacle right
Uh-huh.
now. Laugh at the porta potty thing all you want. That's spectacle. That's everybody wants Attitude Era. That's Attitude Era all over.
It's there was some 80s stuff. He did everything except the Hulk Hogan like come out and like look over the porta potty, hear the crowd. Now he turned and he looked at the crowd like, "Yeah." If he just pointed like, "Do you want me to what?" and the crowd like loses its mind.
Yeah.
First of all, good on the crowd for chanting porta potty.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. And Kevin Owens getting to play around and be dumb. It's wonderful.
All right, so just a couple things here. Ellie asks what happened to Finn on the line. Matt took his laptop on vacation with him, so we're on the old computer, and all that stuff wasn't updated. That's the important thing, right?
It's understandable.
This is a good point.
What?
Kane Kenny asks, odds the brand split ends with the Fox deal. I mean, when's Raw's deal up on USA?
Last time they signed it was a 5-year deal, and I don't think it was that much longer with that. I don't know. I don't know that offhand, but honestly, I don't think this ends. I don't know that it so much ends the brand split, but if they do keep the brand split, I think there'd be a lot more fluidity with the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Because Fox would be like, "Hey, where's that Braun guy everyone's talking about? We got a bus. Can you flip it for us?" Oh, he's gonna have to put it back, but can he flip it?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da.
Yes. So I think there ends up having to be a little more fluidity, and
Christopher
honestly,
Brown, they re-upped with USA for another 5 years.
damn. But hey, cool. What they're gonna
Team.
get? They're gonna end up being what they've always wanted to be, which is competition with themselves.
Yeah.
And each of these parent companies of the organizations that don't own the show but have the rights to the show right now are going to be pushing for, we want your biggest stars, we want the biggest stuff, and that's going to force them to either create giant stars in each one,
Mm-hmm.
or there's going to be a weird spot that they get into where it's going to be like, hey, we want that dude over here. Why don't we have that dude over here? Now I don't know how much
You know,
I'm sure that they've protected themselves creatively enough
yeah.
that they're going to
They're
be
not
like,
stupid.
you can't program our show for us.
Right.
But you know that they're going to have to get pressure for that.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if
The Fox is going to say, hey, where's that one dude?
because what's funny
We want
is
that dude.
we talk about SmackDown gets pillaged
Mhm.
every year. I mean, it's been 2 years, but does it go the other way next year at the Shakedown, heading into going to Fox?
You know what? In a weird way, as much as we say that SmackDown gets rated,
Mm-hmm.
and they do, they try to play it up like they don't, but they do.
They do.
It's a pruning, dude.
Yeah.
And it ends up creating those spots for those dudes that are like on the cusp and haven't gotten that shot up.
You
Like,
know who's great right now?
who's that?
Rusev,
Amazing.
because he has room.
And you know who no, that was on Raw. Shoot. I'm trying to like the new Jinder, but with 3 hours somehow they can't find time to explain what's going on with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because I'm paying attention and I want to dig him. But if you're casual, 3 hours you can't say, "Oh yeah, Ginger's trying to find peace and centering himself again." And
How do you not shoot a vignette for that?
it's great. Ginger's on a voyage. He's
Just
off TV
take-
for a week.
Yeah.
2-minute vignette. 2-minute vignette. No, but we get to show Kevin Owens' car flipped over 4 times from the week before.
Yeah.
We flipped the car. We filmed it. We're going to play that 6 times next week. Because, I don't know.
Kane Kenny said Raw seems to be on repeat. I've noticed the last 3 weeks in a row have felt like I hate being. I'm never that guy. Like, come like
It's-
30 minutes in, I'm like, is this a repeat?
Because they're pushing every week Lashley and Reigns versus the Revival.
Yeah,
You've
3
seen
weeks
that-
in a row.
You've seen that 3 times. And this week, when I say I want some time for Jinder, I like where Roman Reigns is right now. I like what he's doing. I like where they're going with him. Does he need all that time for that?
No.
He'd almost benefit from less time. You know what was great? This sounds weird to say. I like the weird backstage stuff between Lashley and Reigns.
Yeah.
Because Lashley is getting a little more like he's cracking a little bit. He's not good as far as the act, and they filmed him in such a way that his arm looked so just evil and mean.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared. I said I have to go watch this on a smaller television now, and even then, not enough. But there's Reigns at one point saying, "Shut up."
Yeah.
That's all I want. Shut up. I got the evil beard now. I'm going to talk out of turn. Lashley says, okay. Reigns there, flashing your fake smile. Lashley immediately smiles. It's like, he didn't mean to, but all right, cool. And it's good. And Revival has been good too. But
Yeah, but it's just the same. It literally
you've
feels
got
like the same thing.
so much talent over
Yeah.
there. And even if they're doing something stupid, let them have a moment to do something stupid. I was excited for the Bailey and Sasha stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was development and it did stuff.
Well, again, like last week we mentioned, the women's division doesn't get a lot of that.
No, it doesn't.
That's a good thing.
It feels like a weird experimental thing. It's almost
Yeah.
it's almost as if they said, well, I mean, you know, the whole Team Hell No thing worked,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing it again, and it seems good. Let's capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Let's mirror that a little bit, and let's allow personality to come out. I feel like we've gotten more Sasha does a very good job of having her personality in her entrance. In the ring, a little bit.
You mean
not
it's
a whole.
boss time?
Yeah. Yup. Bailey again,
you know what?
entrance good, but I don't feel any of that conveys in the ring where we don't get a whole lot of who they are in their. They work a lot, they do, but I feel we got more of them in those segments than we have in ages of in-ring work. And they're very good in the ring, but I want that little extra behind it so I can care more about what's happening in the ring.
Well, because
And them doing impressions of one another
it was great.
was my favorite thing. I think this is my favorite thing of Raw this week.
You and I, and probably most of the people watching our program, know Sasha and Bailey. Like we knew them on NXT, so we know the character.
Yeah.
Neither one has had that much character on Raw
Well, I mean,
every week.
the best we got was Charlotte and Sasha going back and forth with the title, and that showed both of them as amazing wrestlers. Charlotte's carried that on; she's the women's wrestler, and fantastic. Works for her, very good, and she has this weird charisma about her where she's able to slow down and command. Sasha's character isn't that, but proven herself as an amazing wrestler and just a ragdoll monster. Honest to God, let more of her come through the work, and it's something you can invest in.
And also,
There's little girls and dudes ready to buy into this and ready to care and ready to love it, ready to hate it.
it's also like if we don't have character, how is she going to be the great heel that she can be?
Or even a face.
Yeah, even somebody that you really want to get behind.
Even the tweener monster who'll slap her own partner because angry and just couldn't contain herself. A hothead.
Speaking of being unable to contain myself.
Oh, fuck.
I love Liv Morgan!
Is that part new?
Hey, sweetie. What?
Who?
I'm talking to Liv Morgan. One day she's going to watch this.
Yeah,
I'm drinking milk.
What? Well, I suggest you take your vitamins and say your prayers as well.
Brother.
You set your brother on fire.
You know something, dude.
No, I don't. I don't know anything. Dude. Much disdain.
Evergreen. It's 47, Nathan.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Nathan.
How are you?
I'm good. What do you mean? Do you want to talk about, because we're coming up on the hour, so maybe we'll take a quick break at the hour.
Yes.
But since we've been talking about NXT, there's been talk that maybe the takeovers might expand to 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I also don't love it.
I don't love it either.
I'm willing to accept it because NXT is good, and they have enough to be able to do it. But the takeovers are perfection right now. They are perfection.
Because they've been at the 2 hours and they've allowed for the overrun.
Yeah.
But the overrun means something when it happens.
Yeah.
And as a result of the tighter schedule or tighter show format, you're getting usually 5 matches. And it ends up being just right. Like, I'm very surprised at how little we've had a defense of like the North American Championship, or even like the UK Championship on some of these takeover shows, because we usually end up with a women's match, a tag match, a world title match, and like 2 grudge matches.
Yep.
And that's how it usually works. And they found almost like a magic perfect formula with that, because the grudge matches are enough to get you emotionally involved. And then you have the usually the emotional involvement is in the 2 grudge matches.
Yep.
The top tier heavyweight wrestling ends up being in the main title match. The tag stuff is some of the most technically beautiful stuff, and the women's match is highlighting the top of the women's division. And they seem like they've been the quickest and easiest to go towards the multi-man matches, which is fine, highlighting more of the division, I guess. creating depth out of something that I don't know that they have a lot of depth right now, but they don't need it. They hide it very well. You wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you look at the matches, it's like you got like what 5 people in the division right now, but it always looks like more coming in and more flowing out because that's something that they keep hidden kind of behind. They don't say, "Here's the division.
Yeah.
Here's 205 Live starting. Here's your entire roster." They're all like, "There's 5 good guys and 5 bad guys. Now Enzo's here. Cool." That's what I felt happened to 205 Live, and it kind of killed it. Now 205 Live has a little more fluidity. That's with the women's division in the NXT card. Now, if NXT takeovers go to 3 hours, how do you fill that out? Do you go longer matches? Because I got to tell you, those matches are already fairly long
They're
and
usually-
really, really good.
Yeah.
They're booked very well. They're not 30-minute Iron Man matches. That opens up the possibility of having stuff like that.
Yep.
But do you want to force that issue?
Well, you figure now you have Adam Cole's North American
Baby!
Championship
I
in
didn't
there.
want to say that. I
You
had,
had
to.
to. You have Adam Cole's North American Championship
Mhm.
in there now. So, I mean, unless you take out one of the grudge matches, you have another title match now.
Mhm.
Maybe you start developing another grudge. Again, 2 matches in an hour? Like, I don't know. They're probably going to fit 3 in there, don't you think?
3 per hour? What are you talking about?
If
We're sitting at usually 5 matches now
in 2 hours.
in 2 hours.
So that's... It,
You add on another hour, you think you're going to put 2 more matches in it, or potentially 3 more
probably
matches?
3.
3 more matches. You're talking about 8 matches on that card.
Hmm. Which is what WWE is doing, give or take, depending
I guess.
on the show.
But usually these takeovers are going to be on those mega weekends where you have what are now going to be the 4-hour
Yeah.
super events.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like I want more sometimes, but I think,
I'd rather want more than get more.
yeah, because almost as if they broke it into another show. Like you give me a Friday night 2-hour show, you give me a Saturday night 2-hour show, and give me a Sunday 3-hour show. I'd be a lot happier than if you gave me a 3-hour on Saturday and a 4-hour on Sunday.
So
The beginnings of a show, and hitting a hot open and establishing pace for the evening, is a magical thing. Often kind of screwy, but sometimes that leadoff match sets the pace for a night and it kicks off a really good night. Or sometimes it puts out a good pace, and when that pace is lost halfway through the second hour, and there's still another hour after that, it kills the night. You make it harder for that first match to set up a good pace, and that last match to culminate.
Mhm.
Because now you instead of having 3 matches building into a main event after a good pace setting first match, you're talking about upwards of 5-6 matches in between the beginning and the end. Do you take a break in the middle? How do you break it up? And
Do
again,
you
NXT has that perfect flow of match, done, and it's great.
do you put 2 matches on the pre-show like they're doing on the main card, and then the actual takeover is still only the 5 matches?
You know what?
And they have the 2 dark matches that they use for the next week of NXT television.
That's fine.
Always.
And, and that's fine, and that's the live audience either pays that price or reaps that benefit. Good for them. But when it comes to programming on the television, how much live do you want?
Yeah.
When you go to a concert, do you want a hot 2 hours, or do you want them to fill for 15 minutes? Do you want them to play Freebird, Justin?
No, never.
You don't.
Never.
Do you want them to play for? Would you rather see 2 bands with a hot hour each, or do you want to see 4 bands over 3 hours with a lot of setup, tear down, and setup in between?
I'll take the 2 bands
I'll
all
take
day,
the
every
2
day.
every day, right? You know why? You want to do something in the morning. You want to get home at a decent time, not because you're old or anything. Well,
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
But because you want to have some energy at the end of the night, and 3 hours is killer, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that you can outpace yourself and lose that energy at any point during the show. I'm sorry. I get the idea of a come down match. It's something we've grown accustomed to with 3-hour pay-per-views on the main roster, where you get that boom, 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 main event.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Because that's how it has to be. Because ever building is going to sap your energy by the time you get to the end, and you're not going to care. How good does it have to be for you to care at the end of the night?
Yeah.
It has to be really good or over the top ridiculous.
Like Goldberg winning in 8 seconds or whatever it was. That was amazing.
And you know what? Fine.
Yeah.
Building to a fever pitch and exploding in a moment. Fine.
Yeah.
But when you get to main event pacing at the end of a night of pacing all over the place, trying to pace a show out, kills it, man. If you have 8 matches on an NXT thing and it ends with Aleister Black headlining against Lars Sullivan, good match. I don't know that I care as much. But the fact that it was almost not necessarily a come down match, but a peaking right before getting to the top of the mountain with the Gargano and Ciampa feud. Peaking does that last little lift before the main event, and the main event delivers. It's fantastic. But
Couple comments here. Kane Kenny, it's all how they use the roster and the time. I'm sure they use 3 hours better than Raw. I mean,
yeah.
Agreed. Christopher Brown, and keep in mind there's talk of them bringing back Saturday night's main event on the Saturdays before one of the big 4 pay-per-views next year, and then Kane Kenny plus also add an Iron Man match.
Now, you know what? If that Saturday night main event ends up being like a live thing on Fox, and it's in conjunction with like an NXT at 2 hours, that's 3 hours of wrestling I can tolerate. I can be okay with, almost because it has a beginning and an end. It's a Saturday night's main event, tight hour, be done with it.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours of NXT. Keep it tight and it's good. Up, down, down. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Don't program yourself out of stuff. It's hard to say where that sweet spot is of we want more, we want to consume more, and what's effective use of the programming time we've allotted ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, stuff like Ride Along, stuff like Table for Three, fantastic for me.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know that that's getting consumed nearly as much as the other stuff.
Probably not.
I feel that that's supplemental programming to me as somebody who wants more.
When I
It
got
feeds
time.
into it.
Yeah, when I got time, I'll pop on a couple ride-alongs because they're 20 minutes-ish.
And they're weirdly evergreen. They don't.
Evergreen.
They don't.
This was supposed to be the Evergreen Hour.
They don't have to. They're not as time sensitive.
Yeah.
Except for Shelton Benjamin's gun.
Here's what we're going to do. It's Independence Day, Nathan. You know that, right?
What?
So on the other side,
Hmm?
it'll be Independence Day, and we'll talk about what that means. Because I'm not sure that you still get the concept.
I don't know what's
Here,
happening.
we'll get Mr. America, and we'll be right back. It's #WrestlePals.
Who's that dude? It's your bit. I'm sorry.
American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males.
When you see them coming, better run for cover. Girls, you don't need a weekend lover. American males. If they want to talk to you, you better not listen. You might wind up in critical condition. American males.
American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males. American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males,
think this is over? Or we just getting started, baby? Because I'm staying high!
It's time for hashtag WrestlePals Hour 2.
Drink it in, man.
Hour 2, baby. Ah!
Oh, hi, Justin. Patreon.com/oh hi Justin. Get on the ground floor of this maniac's everything. That's
I
actually a
am a
good
maniac.
tagline.
Yeah.
Get on the ground floor of this maniac's everything.
Yeah.
I talk nonsense. Sometimes good stuff comes out. Not like that last sentence. That was garbage.
Yeah. I want to do more.
He wants to do more.
I'm gonna do more,
That's
but I can get to the more faster if I've got money, if that makes sense. Because there's stuff I don't have yet. One of these gimmicks, not. I don't have one of those gimmicks. The camera gimmicks.
What?
Definitely need. Yeah.
Sure, you want to take? I got the two at the home. We're gonna talk. We'll talk.
And just I need to upgrade my board too. There's just a couple upgrades I need to do, and it would be great if we could get you on board. Look, right now you get these goals updates as they happen. You get hashtag WrestlePals every week in audio format and deprogrammed 3 days early. And then starting soon, you'll get Oh Hi Justin a week early, which is going to be a daily pod. At least Monday through Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do 7 days, but it'll at least be Monday through Friday, every day. And there's just so much more I'm going to do, like...
I can't wait to hear you formatting stuff talking about. I want to hear about that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Gonna also do, like, hopefully, Best of 7 pod with Ronald, where... it'll be just whenever we can do it. We're going to talk NBA basketball while playing basketball games. That'll be fun. I want to do Schools Out with the kids. So we're going to play like Minecraft and Fortnite and stuff like that with the kids. And
And
that'll be
Alice
fun.
Cooper. Yeah.
And Alice Cooper. And whatever else comes up. Hopefully Paula wins, which will be the members of Stale playing Halo 1 with Apollo Wins basically moving King of the Mountain. It's a lot of fun. Active camo.
That's dumb.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Look, I didn't say you weren't having fun.
Yeah.
Look, that wins.
So does Paulo. Hey, look at that. We outkicked our coverage again.
Good Christ.
My friends are better than yours, by the way. Just so you guys know that. Just want you to know. My friends are better than yours.
Just want to make money off of you. Sorry, Justin.
Is that what this is?
No, not really.
Just using me?
Yeah. For
You just want me to be like some sort of stooge for you?
yeah, more of an experiment, if you will.
Yeah.
We want you to give your body, Justin. Not to me.
For science?
For science.
How can you possibly only drink one?
Because I only had one. That's why.
Oh, God. So delicious. 0 calories, 0 sugar. Science.
Oh my God, you're really doing a promo for him now. He's really enjoying that. No affiliation with his show, by the way.
Frostberry Blast.
Also, Liv Morgan, no affiliation with his show, by the way.
She should. She should be a hashtag WrestlePal. She should be my specific hashtag WrestlePal.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
if she
how I
has to
feel
pick
about it.
one, just help him out.
STL. I'm not Bay. Yet.
You just pierced her head. What are you doing? Why would you do that? She's tough. She took it and was like, whatever.
Berserker's going to pierce your finger.
Not Burr. Zerker. No, it is. It is Berserk.
Us.
Us. Nice. I hope they pitched
what
that to
Frost-
him, and he was like, I'm what? You want me to what?
Say Huss over and over again?
Whoa. Before we get to that, I understand like the sword,
Uh-huh.
like shield
helmet
occasionally.
gimmick.
I'll wear a helmet. I'm fine with a helmet. I like a helmet. Because it's visually it gives a good impression. Like you see that before anything else. Viking
Can't fight
stuff,
this either.
almost as if I was some sort of Viking berserk. I understand your pitch. I get where you're going with it. Let me stop you for a second, though. Like I said, I'm with you at this point. Then you want me to do this, right? Right, like this, flat hand, or you want to cup the little cup? You want to cup it?
Phrasing? Cup what?
This is your gimmick, not mine. All right, I'm the one that has to do this garbage. And then you want me to say what?
Us.
What?
Us.
What?
Us.
Can I just say what? That seems like it'd probably be a little more catchy. Crowd would probably say it for years and years to come.
Us.
You want me to say Huss, though?
Huss.
Hoss?
No, not Hoss.
Hoss? No.
Huss.
Oh, Jim Ross says that.
Huss.
Hoss.
Huss.
His?
Huss.
Hose.
Huss. Huss.
Hess?
Hey!
Huh?
Hess wants some sex!
Okay, very good. I'm sure he does. Justin. We checked the calendar between shows, and a lot of people were yelling at us behind the scenes, sending us private messages, and telling us that apparently today is some sort of holiday of some sort.
It is?
Yeah, it is, though. It's Independence.
Independence. Like independent wrestling.
Yeah, I assume so. I assume this is the holiday.
What's your
that's-
favorite indie?
My favorite indie? It's gonna be Chikara.
Of course it is.
Why?
Because it's
a,
Chikara.
it's a goddamn comic
Yeah.
book. And I don't even read comics, but at the same time, I'll watch them. Here we go. Oh boy. Who are these dudes in masks? Cyberhawks? I'm in. Cool. Except, move on. This is part of my life now. I'm okay with this. Have you seen Professor Nicodemus?
No, not yet.
All right, I'm gonna binge this whole season at some point. when I jump on the Chikaratopia bandwagon here, we'll have to talk and watch some dumb stuff. So yes, Chikara would be my favorite indie. What do I want? What am I gonna do? Pick one that takes himself seriously? Screw that noise. I want dumb.
Ah, dang it. What's the other gimmick? The other one that's great. The other one that's way different. Why can't I remember it?
Oh, I believe you're speaking of DDT.
Well, yes, them too. DDT Pro rules.
Here's Ibushi. I don't know why he's here, but he's gonna fight this entire bus. We don't mean the passengers. We mean the bus. How's he gonna pit a bus?
Why is he fighting Jerome Bettis?
This happens. That would be less weird.
Yes.
Ibushi, we're gonna have you fight a school of drag queens. Why? No,
Yeah,
we mean they're
'cause-
dressed like fish. They were male fish to dress as female fish, and they swim. There's a school of them. You have to fight them. Can you dive off of something very high, please? Yes, he will. And he'll sell, too, all day. So DDT and Chikara, those are our choices for our favorite indies at current. At this point, Justin, would you even consider ROH an independent?
I don't think so.
Would you consider Impact an independent?
No. I mean, at best, they're super indies.
Super indies.
At best.
The fact that we live in a world of super indies is pretty damn great.
And King Kenny says Lucha Underground. I don't know if you can call Lucha Underground independent. Like as much production as they put into their television
I
program?
was going to say that it's not so much about the amount of production they put in, it's the fact that they kind of started as a production
Yeah.
rather than a wrestling organization that happened to get some sort of TV or put on shows. Though they do, I think they more started as production. The beauty of Lucha Underground is just something so different. They took the business model and they broke it down into its individual pieces, and then they used those pieces to put together a different business model, and they came at it. And they made a TV show first, foremost. They built it from the ground up for TV programming, and as a result, it was great. They just happen to have amazing wrestling to go on top of it. And they're too big. Maybe that was a shorter answer. Not that that's a bad thing. You want to be too big. You'd rather be a super indie.
Why can't I think of that one?
Who are you trying to think of? PWG?
No, the one with the monsters and stuff.
Oh my God. Okay, Kaiju Big Battle.
Yes. Kaiju. Yes.
The beauty of Kaiju Big Battle. First of all, danger can happen. I look at Chikara and I like this serious wrestling that's here in Chikara, sir. You and your goddamn weirdo Kaiju Big Battle. Even though they've had crossover in the past, Chikara's looked at as the more serious of the two. And the fact that somebody can make Chikara look like serious, they're not messing around over there. Yes, they have an ant problem. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. But nope. Kaiju Big Battle is just...
It's like Rampage the video game in a wrestling ring. Sometimes. Oftentimes.
Yes, but also some of the characters are so weirdly endearing.
Yeah.
Who knew you could love an irascible boulder that happens to be powered by steam and has tentacles? This is just, who knew that you care about plantains? Who knew that it... Okay.
I love Platanos.
Goddamn madness. I wish they were anywhere near here. The beauty
Yeah,
of
right.
Chikara is they're not that far away that if we happen to be up there, we could, or we could make a weird weekend out of it. It'd be a weird weekend. Kaiju Big Battle is almost feels like it pops up from like a underground.
Yeah.
Like every show's a secret show. Yet every time you see footage, it always looks like a weird nightclub, and it's jammed full of people that are just ready to be enslaved and take it over. Not like they're weak-willed or anything. They're like, yes, the mothership is landing. We're getting on board. Please, dress me as a monster. I'm ready to die.
We never looked up those WWE dates either.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't have a schedule.
Oops.
I just yesterday I was given a bit of what my schedule is potentially going to be. I'll run that by you after show stuff. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
I'm looking up Kaiju Big Battle. Bash at the bell. We missed
Oh my
it.
god! I thought you were looking up. That was Town and Country surf game thing from the old Nintendo. That the fact that they know exactly how to tap into my psyche. Like I know exactly what they're spoofing, and they're spoofing something that was spoofy. Amazing. Danger can happen. Welcome to the Kaiju Quick Mall.
Tad Bradley set to return from 6-year vacation.
Happens. The beauty is look at the formatting on that site, Justin.
Uh-huh.
That's on purpose. I want you to know that. That's on purpose. Has to be. Like you can design a site badly and be like, all right, but it's like they went out of their way to here's bad. Oh, are they tapping into Twitch? For the love of God, is Kaiju Big Battle tapping into Twitch? Because that seems like a fantastic home for them. As much as we've championed that in the past, indies gaining their independence on this fine Independence Day by utilizing the weird tools that are available, such as like Twitch, and people being able to give bits during matches, almost as if they're tipping.
Yes.
I love that idea, by the way. Like, hey, you got a match going on? A couple bucks. I want this to go to this. If you could make sure it's like I like what they're doing. Money, 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 money. And as much as I say, put the money behind the organizations that you like that are doing the things you like. If you could target individual wrestlers and be like, hey, this show with Joey Ryan's doing well, but I want hey, Joey, here's a couple bucks. I know you're doing okay. I want you to do okay. I think you deserve better. Dollar, 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 dollar. Here's $4.
Man, you know
Jesus, what?
You know it'd be really awesome?
What would that?
Hashtag Wrestle Show. If we got that up off the ground and people could throw money at your hashtag Wrestle Pals, that'd be insanely great, yeah?
I got hit with a quarter the other day. Does that count?
$0.25.
It was a $50. It hurt like hell.
Who has $50 anymore? Why do you have a $50?
You throw money at me, I'm keeping it.
So somebody threw
See that?
a $50 at you
See
and
that?
kept it.
That's evidence. That's what that is.
Who the hell had a $50? And then why would they throw it at you?
I don't know. Mine now.
Movie
I got 50 cents. How much you got?
2? 3? I think 3 cents.
I think I got a quarter in here too.
Broke, 5 broke. We ain't got it. It It's Independence Day, Nathan.
It's Independence Day.
Now, the evergreen topic
Yes, sir.
of the first hour
Mhm.
is that it's Independence Day.
I'm glad we're finally getting into the first hour, Justin. This is important. I get excited.
No, it's fine. I think you thought I wasn't ready.
Hmm?
And so you started launching into the NXT thing, and then
I'm just gonna
we
hit
just
me.
went there.
Are you just gonna hit me one day?
Why? We're doing the show.
What if I give you permission?
One of these days, we'll do more stuff outside of the show. I can't wait for that. That'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we're doing the show, and that's all that matters.
Okay.
It's Independence Day, Nathan. And I thought, instead of doing, because, we can do the American gimmicks, people who were, super American,
Mhm.
The real Americans, Jack Swagger, and
That's the first one you go to?
yeah.
I thought the debate would be between Hulk Hogan
Big
and
Tony.
Dusty Rhodes. Big Tony.
you
Big
know,
Tony.
uh,
Ivan Koloff.
and
the big-
Haas.
Muhammad
Big
Hassan.
Tony and Haas.
Big Tony and Haas.
Swagger. What about Mr. America? I'd love to know who that was underneath that mask.
No idea.
It'll never, ever be revealed, I don't think.
No idea. Who has some ridiculous mustache like that?
I know.
You figure that'd be easy to spot. Like, as soon as that mask goes off, you'd be like, oh, it's that son of a bitch right there.
It's also weird that nobody, he basically copied Hulk Hogan, right? Like, he
I
came
mean,
out
if you're
to
going
his
to copy
theme.
somebody.
Yeah.
It was like right at a time when he was out of the company.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, man, there's a void here. Let me fill it.
I can't believe nobody called him on that.
I can't believe somebody taped him heavy. Sorry. I don't know. I get people confused sometimes. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah,
madness.
Mr. America never said the N-bomb. He would never.
Well, I mean, before like 1860, he might have.
Oh, jeez.
But it was I want to say it was a different time. But you know what? I'm glad. I hope we get better as a people.
It doesn't seem like it right
Yeah,
now.
dude.
Doesn't
2 steps
seem like it.
forward.
3 steps back. We come together. 'Cause
Why are we
That's
dancing like
it.
there's music in our
Our
headphones?
track.
It's not. Well, you know. It ain't fiction. It's a natural thing. Why are you shaking your head?
So,
It's Independence Day, Justin.
we have 2 things that we could do here.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we do both.
Oh.
Because you brought up the villainous foreigners.
The evil foreigner gimmick.
We could do evil foreigners. Or we can do breakups. Like people getting kicked out of factions, gaining
Or
their
some would say.
independence, as it were.
Gaining their independence.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a preference which to do?
You know what? I was more prepared for evil foreigner because I'm xenophobic like that.
Uh-huh.
But I think we spread the wings and we go into a little more uncharted territory, and we go into the gaining independence. Now, how far back you want to go? You just want to go down memorable breakups?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how big you want to start,
Well,
or how minor you want to go?
I
Because
think
I think we're in a time of amazing independence happening right now.
okay. I'm going to start here though.
Okay.
Probably the most famous of
Okay.
them. The barbershop.
The barbershop was
Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty.
he did.
The term became Jannettied.
Mm-hmm.
Like when tag teams break up, somebody gets Jannettied.
Yes.
Like that's
Isn't it-
setting the bar.
Isn't it fun watching how that's mutated over the years, where everyone's like, "Oh, he kicked him through that window."
Yeah.
Well, he kicked him and then he threw him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super kicked and then through. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that was the first time. I mean, I'm sure people had kicked before then. It's a kick, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first time you ever had that stank on it. Like,
Yeah.
this is some evil, agile monsters thing to do. This quick, decisive, just evil act. The kick, that kick became the stabbing in the back, except it's in your face and you're using a foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a face stabbing in the back. You stabbed him in the face, right in the back with your foot.
I love you. I'm sorry.
For what? I don't question that first half.
kicking you.
That I get. I mean, yeah.
Fine.
What's the matter?
Well, I just realized I didn't have Restream chat up,
Uh huh.
and because we're using this one, I didn't get I didn't have the Stream Deck gimmick,
Mhm.
so I didn't put the links out for watching on anything else. So like I'm not monitoring the chats on anything else. Hopefully nobody's on YouTube going, "Hey, I'm here."
Sorry. Sorry, YouTube.
Yeah, or Twitch.
Yeah.
Tommy Twitch.
Well,
Twitch.
I mean, Twitch has been
Twitch, Tommy Twitch.
just a slurry of helpful comments.
Tommy.
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 Tommy. You just want me to play. Just want to play the Tommy game. God
Tommy.
damn.
Tommy. Tommy.
Well, okay. Barbershop, fantastic breakup, and that was a declaration of independence of Shawn Michaels, and he went on to become something totally and completely different. You want to break it a little more modern?
Sure.
You want to take it to basically what's happening right now? Something that I'm enjoying a great deal?
Let's do it.
The Miz Taraj. And they didn't do that odd thing of complete repackage or disappear for a little while. They still acknowledge it. Yeah, we
Right.
used to be, but now we're here. And they're having a fun little run. And if Bray did mess up, they might be having a little more boost than they were ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Seeing them celebrate, seeing them enjoying in victory, and not having to be goons and stooges, well, they're still kind of goons. Fantastic. Now, they didn't necessarily want that independence. They took an issue of abandonment. They were abandoned, unintentionally by the Miz,
Right.
but they decided to pick up, carry on, claim their independence.
And they've actually arguably been better without him.
They've been fantastic, and they've been probably my favorite thing of Raw.
They
He was
learned
doing
from him.
he was doing that weird dance thing. What's it called? You got kids. You know what that is.
Flossing.
Okay, now I don't like it. I want to call it Axlin. I hope he does that every week.
The backpack dance, too.
The backpack kid. That I've
Yeah.
seen.
But it's flossing.
I don't like it now.
Hmm.
All right. I rescind
Floss
my
my
answer.
teeth.
You got a better claim of independence?
How about Ciampa throwing Gargano at Takeover Chicago 1?
You don't even think of DIY anymore, do you?
Nope.
You almost got that shirt.
I did.
You did get the shirt?
I almost got it.
Oh,
I wanted
okay.
to so
You
bad.
almost got it.
I wanted to so bad.
I don't know if you're allowed to buy shirts anymore. Like, they keep breaking up. You saw that Breezango broke up, right?
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Liar.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Like,
You're a
believe me.
liar. You're a liar.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Riot
most of the
Squad
time.
didn't either. I've got a Riot Squad shirt, you jerk.
How's your kid Sami Zayn shirt?
I love Liv Morgan.
I've heard.
It needs to be known. I'll shout. Ooh, you want me to shout it? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Mhm.
I love Liv Morgan.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Cool. We're going to a store afterwards, and I'm taking that with.
Mhm.
Actually, I've been wanting to get up on the intercom and going, ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. I love Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
Please enjoy your shopping.
The exits can be found on the and also before. Just like to say personally from me, I love it more. Thank you.
You do?
Now,
Yeah. I do. Me.
Christ, dude.
Ellie's got a good one. Eddie and Ray. That breakup was amazing. Like that feud. Like Eddie lost his damn mind.
There's nothing better than instant blood
Yeah.
coming right out of a tag team. It's a beautiful thing, and it's always sad when you see it happen. But it's usually how tag teams end. It's gonna be the two feuding against each other. One goes on to be bigger than the next.
One gets Janetti'd.
One gets Janetti'd. Sorry, he's still out there.
Yeah.
His feet
Sort of.
His feet are all fucked up.
Well, what's funny is like everybody thought Christian was going to be the Janetti, but nah, man, he put together a Hall of Fame career. That's a whole different conversation. Because I don't even think when they broke up it was like that. I think it was just suddenly they're not a team anymore. I don't think there was any kind of betrayal.
Animosity.
Yeah.
Everything to it. You got any other ones off the top of your head? Oh, shit, I just had one that was fantastic, and why did I let it? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to throw out one?
Yeah.
I think we're watching the process happen right now.
Okay.
We're watching political undertakings going on, and we're seeing an amicable independence. Singles Day competitors coming out of the New Day.
Yeah. You think?
They are working independent of one another, and I think we're going to move towards that. I think we're getting a positive, not necessarily break up, but they're able to be independent stars on their own.
Mm.
I-
Well, I don't know. Did you watch SmackDown?
Oh no, I have. What do they do? Are they fighting?
Not each other. They're feud. It looks like they're setting up a feud with Sanity.
Oh god damn it!
So you're wrong.
Well,
Although you're technically right, because leading into Money in the Bank,
I
and-
thought we were getting singles competitors that happen to get along.
I don't think that's out of the question on the other side of the Sanity feud.
Yeah, but
I
no.
think if they go that route, it makes it look more like some sort of disagreement between the members, where it's like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. I don't want that. I said this last week.
You know what I want? I want sad. I want them all to be sad, like it's a relationship that just isn't working anymore, and they're just like, yeah, man, no.
I
And
still,
then they walk away.
I want
3 sad Hulks walking away.
I want Rusev versus the New Day for the WWE Championship, because it would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. We will be the champion. Like I can see that being what they say going in. The whole thing has been, we want to get Kofi a championship.
Yes,
There's just some fun to be had there.
being that supportive, no matter.
It could be any of the members.
Defying conventions set upon by wrestling in general, and they're like, nah, we do what we want. We're happy. More gunfire. Sweet.
What are you gonna do?
Any other claims of independence that stick out to you?
Let's see. Well, there's a whole lot we can go into from WCW.
And you got to think in modern era, even you got the Shield with Seth Rollins throwing in his lot with another, stabbing his brothers in the back, claiming his independence. And honestly, it's led to, when he was the dastardly a-hole back in the day, he's arguably a fantastic babyface right now. And you don't get there without him taking that shot of independence.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ambrose did very well as a singles too, and I'm sure he's got lots more in front of him. Really missed him right now, but Seth is sucking up all that babyface juice.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Hey. What about Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Scotty Riggs?
What about him, Justin? Where are they from?
American males. American males. Did you know that they're American? They're also males.
I knew that second part.
So we're going to call them American males.
Okay.
American males.
Should we call them American males in suspenders?
No.
That's too much?
Too much. Too
That,
much.
I want to know where the line is.
But we'll put suspenders on them.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And
that's
then
why I was going to put it in
sunglasses,
the name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Inside? All the time?
All the time.
All the time.
They wear their sunglasses at night.
Mhm.
So the American males.
How's the wrestling future look?
Bright.
Slam your grandma. Slam.
Better one though. It's
What?
also another NWO breakup.
Yeah.
Harlem Heat. When Stevie finally turned on Booker.
Stevie turned on Booker,
Mm-hmm.
but who got bigger at the end?
Yeah.
Like by far.
And Stevie went into basically B Squad, and
I mean, I guess
Not
there's
much
a
of
little bit of
nothing.
that with just the NWO in general. The red and black versus the black and white,
yeah.
and the weird offshoot with the LWO over on their end.
Yeah.
I love the LWO.
Who didn't? Everybody loved the LWO.
Yeah, how do you not?
It was the best. Let's see. Who else can you? Well, Shawn Michaels and anybody really.
Shawn
Like,
Michaels
he turned
and
his back
everybody.
on everybody.
Like, how do we look at him
Batista.
as a good dude at this
Yeah.
time?
Well, that was the beauty of the Jericho feud. Is he's like, why are you guys like praising this guy? Like all he does is turn his back on everybody. That's great. That was a great basis to the feud.
Wonderful.
And then Batista buys into it, and he turns into a bad guy. Batista turning on Ray, that was pretty good. It's not one of the best.
Is that what ended up leading to Batista quitting?
That was him and Cena. I mean, he goes into that heel turn off of the back of that.
Whatever leads into Batista sitting in a little tiny wheelchair quitting
That was
was my favorite
Extreme
thing that he's
Rules?
ever done. My favorite thing
With
that he's
Cena?
ever done.
Yeah.
Quite.
It just looks like he went from this muscle man to a little polio dude, and it was amazing. It made me very happy.
It was hilarious because, like, hilarious. I hate that I just used that word. But that was the best Batista had ever been
Yeah,
going into that.
it started
Like,
showing who he was.
I hated him.
It was
He come out with that spotlight and he stopped doing the gimmick.
uh-huh.
He was just walking out and had the spotlight that followed him all the way down to the ring. Oh, it was the best.
That there is what I want from Bobby Lashley now.
Yeah.
That garbage Batista.
Hmm.
That's all I want, and that's not a big tweak.
It's not. It's
not.
not far from what he's doing already. Just
Yeah.
stop smiling and.
Get your arms down.
Yeah.
Put your arms down.
Did they change his music a little bit this week?
Psh, I don't know. I couldn't tell. I couldn't. It was so irrememberable from before that I busted out the word irrememberable. Who's ever used that? Me. Talking about Bobby Lashley's music.
Me.
When his
say it
music
like
hit that
that.
one time and Roman Reigns looks up at the thing and says, Bobby Lashley. Guess what? I was like, really? I don't think he really recognized that. I think he's just as confused.
Yeah.
It's like they told him to say Bobby Lashley so people know. And he's like, is it? He wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure.
He knew it was coming. He wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. You know, the other great claim of independence, though I think it was more foisted upon him.
Mhm. Yeah.
Randy Orton.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Winning the title, exceeding his current selected peers, and paying the price for it,
Yeah.
and having to go independent after that.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Oh, I loved
Getting
like 12
booted
year
out of
old
Evolution.
12-year-old Orton was the best. Loved him.
Getting booted out of Evolution. They used to do a lot of like jumping people to kick them out of whatever group. Ray Traylor got beat up by the NWO. Michael Wall Street got beat up by the NWO.
Fucking NWO, Jesus Christ.
There's so many that you could probably do with the NWO. Who got jumped out of the NWO?
Just everybody.
Can you think of any other? What about Sting when he turns to Crow Sting?
He claimed his independence from just wrestling in general.
Yeah,
I mean, like, didn't wrestle for like nigh on a year.
yeah.
I mean, and when he, it kind of got blown a little bit, but you know what? That build-up was worth it.
Oh yeah,
It's like sometimes that build-up was so good that it, even though the like long-term payoff ended up not being there, I can remember the build-up for how good it was and appreciate it just for that.
the end of '96
Uh-huh.
and pretty much all of '97 is still not only watchable but good.
Just showing how much you can do by doing significantly less,
Mm-hmm.
or in that case, damn near nothing.
And then, of course, on the other end of it, we talked about, they blew it.
Mhm.
98 garbage.
Mhm.
Most of '96 garbage. '95 absolute trash.
Well, the thing about that is if you can just sit back, separate out individual story elements, and just enjoy them for what they are, and appreciate good storytelling when you see it, even if you have to ignore what preceded and what follows. The fact that you can enjoy a moment, and how big that moment was when he decides to finally intervene, finally step back into the fray, finally stand up against an unstoppable evil. Amazing. But he had to go rogue first. He had to claim his independence, if you will.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if this necessarily fits into your claiming independence type thing, but people that were part of a team forever and ever and ever, and then all of a sudden that team's kind of not there. I don't know if it's necessarily part of independence, but when Bubba Ray Dudley became Bully Ray,
Mm.
he had not just a resurgence, but he had a whole separate career.
He started a faction off of it.
Yeah, and
Aces and eights.
and as whatever you want to say about TNA, you can't say that he didn't have charisma enough to hold.
Do you know who I am?
He's the one that put out the Twitter machine thing, It's like,
Well, Dusty did.
I know, but
The internet going crazy like a crazy machine, you understand, if you will.
yes, but
The Twitter machine and Calfzilla.
Calfzilla.
Bully Ray was stupendous. Like, it actually got me to watch Impact Wrestling.
And Impact was a place where it had a whole lot of nothing,
Mhm.
and a whole lot of old, and a whole lot of just zombies wandering around. But he was able to say, "There's nothing here. I have an empty canvas. I'm gonna make what I want.
Going back, was it last week we did the mass deletion event?
Uh huh.
We deleted D'Lo Brown. Remember that?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, we deleted D'Lo Brown.
Sorry.
Guess who else we delete?
Oh,
We were just talking about him.
who did we delete?
The Dudleys.
Oh, I don't want that.
Guess who else? Doc Gallows. Guess who else is gone? Carl Anderson. Finn Balor.
You've eliminated.
The Bullet Club's gone.
Where did Japan go?
Yeah.
All of it.
Doc Gallows was a member of Aces and Eights
Oh, he was
with
fantastic.
D'Lo Brown.
I liked D'Lo Brown. I think I like older D'Lo Brown better.
Garrett Bischoff gone.
Oh, you know what? You win some, and sometimes you win some.
Ken Anderson gone.
Asshole. Hey, it's his name, not mine.
Eddie versus Chavo, hair versus hair at Bash in the Beach. I remember that. Eddie and Chavo at their feud in WCW. So good. Their feud. I think they feuded right before Eddie and Ray. No, they had a feud in WWE that was really good. I don't remember when it was.
So I think we've covered the majority of the big ones. And I'm sure there are other ones. You have other ones in mind?
No, we got all the basic ones. If you're watching this at a later date or listening to this later, hashtag WrestlePals on Twitter and drop whatever breakups you want.
Checking through some of the writing. Hey, would you consider the Mega Powers a independent claim of independence?
No, because they got together.
They were independent, and they got
Yeah.
together, and then they
They re-exploded.
they went their separate ways.
Yeah.
That's that's about the. Oh. Yeah, sorry.
I remember Jim the Anvil Neidhart getting the low blow from DX because he thought he was going to be in DX.
How'd that turn out for him?
China, boom.
Yeah.
We haven't had a good one of those recently, have we?
A good what?
Well, a good.
Good low blow?
I'm
I'm sorry.
We've had plenty of
I'd
those.
like to introduce you to Shinsuke Nakamura.
We haven't had a good.
He's been really good. He's like hitting and then like standing up and like walking around like you're a puppet. Like, oh.
We haven't had a good. Let's kick people out of our group. Maybe the new Nexus with Punk when he started kicking people out. Mason Ryan, like they destroyed Mason Ryan.
Poor Mason Ryan.
I don't remember that happening recently.
It's almost like Mason Ryan showed up and was like, I'm big. He's like, we recognize that. Okay, let's see what we can do with you. And he came back and they're like, well, we need you to work on your character and, and see, you make sure, be a little. I got bigger. Oh, okay, cool. Stop that. Next
Vince
week,
was like, yes.
I got bigger. Okay, but we
You know who loves Mason Ryan?
we're gonna work promos this week.
grew
We're
my
gonna
hair.
go- What is that?
I grew my hair. Mason Ryan. That's what he did when he went to NXT. He grew his hair out and got bigger.
I got bigger this week. Good.
You know-
Stop.
Yeah. You know who loves Mason Ryan?
Who loves Mason Ryan?
Leslie.
Of course she does.
Leslie loves.
Was
Mason
he
Ryan.
nice to her at the show?
I assume so.
Good.
Yeah.
Be nice to Leslie. I'm not. I don't know why.
Who did she just meet last week? Skrull. Marty Skrull, the villain.
Oh, yeah, said he was a lovely gentleman,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. And also Tennille Dashwood.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll be a hashtag WrestlePal. I doubt it. Because it's all about.
That's fine.
You know what else? Do you know something about me? Do you know anything about me?
Hold on. I'm thinking.
I mean, I'll be happy to tell you.
You like tiny gloves?
Mm-mm.
No? What about you?
I love Liv Morgan!
Okay.
What?
I'm glad you have that for yourself.
One of these days, there'll be the big master cut of these last 4 weeks.
It's terrible.
No. It's lovely, is what it is. She's the live of my life, Nathan. I live her.
What?
I'm in live.
What?
I'm in live.
Oh. I was to say ghoul? What's wrong with you?
How dare you?
Like, no, you'd be better.
Oh,
Justin.
she said something about needing a massage
Okay.
yesterday. Of course, the ghouls. Yeah, I'm a ghoul. That's the ghoul sound.
I think that I think I like that more than wrestling now. Like I like wrestling just fine,
Uh-huh.
but awful fans that jump in. 'Cause it was kind of a news thing. It's kind of breaking right now. I didn't really want to like bring it as like a news thing because it's still fresh as all get out. But Taylor Hendricks is on Twitter, and she was in ROH, part of like the House of Truth, Truth Martini, Jay Lethal, blah 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 blah. Right? Well, she's basically kind of coming out and saying, and she's been kind of gone for like a while. You haven't heard much about her. She had some buzz. She had some buzz around her. A lot of people paying attention. A lot of ghouls being very ghoulish with her because it was an easy target for ghoulishness.
Yeah.
But she played into that a little bit, which is fine, man. Capitalize, get yourself over how you go, whatever. But she's apparently coming out and saying, "Yeah, I was kind of blacklisted, and I was kind of written off, and I was kind of underserved as a performer because I wouldn't perform elsewhere for certain individuals." Now she's named a couple names. Again, hasn't named directly, but she said she's retained an attorney, and they may be something out of it. It could be talk. This is all Twitter stuff.
Right.
Sometimes you take an Ambien, you get a little talky. Stuff happens. But it sounds like kind of, remember when we had to run down Mr. Michael Elgin there a while back, where it was a little like using the power for a little bit of influence over potentially impressionable people, and then getting called on it and being like, oh, I don't know, happens, man.
Who do I have to not like now?
Do I have to say the name?
Yeah.
Okay, this is who she mentioned. She mentioned Jay Lethal.
Oh, come on.
Now, again,
Black machismo.
the way that she phrased it, it wasn't directly Jay Lethal did this.
Right.
It was I've had some bad stuff because I wouldn't do bad things, and there were some bad people involved. I'm gonna throw out the name Jay. Whatever, right? And I don't know how much further she's pursued because this was like active as we were kind of coming into the show tonight, as she's still out there. Immediately, the ghouls come out because
Because of that.
yeah,
She's
I mean,
a good-looking woman.
yeah, and she knows it and capitalizes on it, and cool, man. Immediately she says something, and immediately the ghouls come out, and it's a different sort of ghoul. There's the usual ghouls who are, hey, I want to touch all the stuff and stuff, Yeah, I'm being very G-rated as far as ghouls go. This is the worst Disney ghoul you've ever seen. People immediately attacking her like, hey, what have you ever done in this business? So, because that's cool, right? Like, because she's not the like top performer in the big time, if you will. She obviously doesn't have any veracity to her claim. She shouldn't be listened to because what has she ever done in wrestling? How much money has she never drawn? You haven't drawn money, so you can't make claims against people doing bad shit. It's like, how about we see what she has to say?
Yeah.
And if somebody's a piece of shit, how about we say, all right.
Always
Hey,
believe
this is America.
first. Always believe first.
I'm almost hesitant, but it's like, I want to hear what you have to say. Let me hear what you have to say. What are you saying? And just out with it.
But the reality
Throw
is,
it all out on the table.
I guess
see what you
depending
got.
on what it is.
You have to want to you have to want to believe, and you have to hope that anybody wouldn't lie about that, because why would you? But you have to be careful when it comes to somebody's career and reputation. It was just
God, I'm so sick of this one. And you said nothing when this happened because
that's
God, I hate that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know, because she was trying to make a living and trying to not be forced into doing things that she didn't want to do and give up, give of her own body for the sake of a career because somebody else willed it so. And maybe that's why. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she valued her independence a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe she didn't want to have to give of herself in order to just be considered as anybody else would.
I'm going through some of this stuff, so I mean.
Are you finding ghouls live?
I'm trying to, but like, thankfully so far, most of the stuff is supportive.
Well, that's as. I hate to say that
Here's-
that I got a little irked by the ghoulishness.
Mhm.
Because those are the ones that are gonna get the reaction from me. Meanwhile, the people that are positive, like, hey, tell your story, girl. Oh, let us know what happened. Hey, let us know what happened so we can decide if he's a piece of shit or not.
It is known.
It is known.
Check this.
What's up?
All right, so you do know she's lying, just looking for attention. No, I believe Taylor. Why wouldn't you? Because she's known for doing this. She's been kicked out of every promotion she's worked for. If not true, she could be blacklisted from the business.
Hey,
And then somebody asked
hey,
for
look,
a source.
look. Just if she has like
It is known.
if she has like a bad rep, first of all, not wrestle dude, you don't know, and second of all, does that make it okay to victimize somebody? Just because they're not the most reputable in an organization, is it okay to immediately sexually victimize them or try to coerce them? I'm gonna go with my gut and say that's probably not a good idea. Maybe if somebody's bad, don't be worse. Maybe let them burn themselves out. Maybe you let the sexy stars of the world go away, because oh goodness gracious. But like I said, it's I've seen her fighting back a little bit, which is sometimes the worst thing you can do when somebody's coming at you, like attacking you as a person after you're trying to make these claims. When you engage, you empower them, and she's kind of empowered a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because again, somebody said like, "Hey, what money have you ever drawn? What have you ever done in wrestling? You haven't given to wrestling." Meanwhile, she's talking about being blacklisted because she didn't give in to sexual coercion.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with wrestling. That has to do with being
That's somebody being a scumbag to her.
or being somebody not being just a decent human being, like
Yeah.
base level decent.
Yeah.
And she had to come back with attacking Jay. It's like, well, cool. What is he? Oh, the dude was backing Lethal by saying, this guy's done a lot. He was the ROH longest reigning ROH television champion, and then became the world champion. He's the first ROH unified undisputed champion. And it's like,
What does that mean?
cool. So he gets to I don't follow your logic there, sir, but you're. And she had to come back with, his biggest moment is him doing impressions of a legend.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
Twice.
ooh.
Yeah.
And that just gave the dude more fuel. Why? Because he got attention.
Yep.
And, dude, that one needs some more to come out before anything can be really said one way or another. But, man, I hope, just like I hoped Michael Elgin wasn't a piece of garbage.
Yeah. And that Enzo.
And that Enzo wasn't a piece of garbage. I really hope that Jay Lethal's not a piece of garbage, because
hope
he's
so.
really good.
Yeah.
And he's one guy that we talk about the people not just claiming independence, but remaining independent and being able to. Joey Ryan's never going to go to WWE. He doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to.
I mean, he might go under a different name and be something completely different, and he can if he wants to. But he could be Joey Ryan forever,
Yeah.
and that's fine. You got Cody out there being independent, and he's totally fine. You got people that have been nothing but indie, and a lot of them will be fine. Some of them maybe not so, but when it's on the indie scene, there's a lot of that wild, wild west mentality to it,
Yeah.
and that's a fervent place for somebody to come in and victimize somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to get ahead? Well, I'm ahead here, and you're not getting anywhere till you get past here, and you got nowhere else to go because there's nothing for nowhere for miles and miles and miles. And meanwhile, it's this tiny pond, oftentimes, because I know there's the stories even on an even more local level, but it's maybe not to that level there, but there's that weird infighting and backbiting and talking out of turn and talking behind people's back that happens on every level, and it's just like
Gross.
it's gross.
It's gross.
It's a good word for it.
People are gross.
That's a word. That's a fantastic word for it because it remains above board and it doesn't fall to that level. It makes it ill to think about it.
Yeah.
As somebody's trying to be independent, that's when they're most vulnerable and they most have people ready to victimize. It's rough, but I really hope. I don't even know what a best case scenario is for that Taylor Hendricks thing.
I don't either.
If it's the truth, I hope it comes out. But then you end up having to tarnish somebody that's you want to like, and it stinks. And if it's unfounded, it goes the other way because she's a fantastic personality and a hell of a hellaciously charismatic on everything that I've seen her on.
Yeah.
So either way, it gets tarnished because some people can't behave in a baseline decent human capacity.
People are gross, man. People are gross.
I hope that more aren't. I hope more aren't than are, but the ones that are really stand out once they're finally uncovered.
Speaking of on a local level, now this didn't happen to her, but
What's shaking?
Ellie, I knew a girl who went to try out for TNA back in '09 and was asked for certain things to get
Yeah, to get just consideration.
Just to get a tryout. Yeah.
And it's not even guarantees of anything. It's
Just a
like,
tryout.
hey, I could do you favors if you do me favors.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude, it's fervent. But we've seen like I guess the only place we've really been able to see is WWE, like the changing mentality of the locker room.
Mhm.
It's almost like you got a bunch of nerds and people that like to work hard at stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? That's a better atmosphere, and people are usually better. I feel like, even though stuff wasn't as easy to come out back in the day, I feel like we have a better group of just people in general at the very top,
Yeah.
leading the industry, hopefully setting the model for what is decent behavior and what is accepted and what isn't accepted. Like the big cast thing that came out this past week.
Yeah.
To hear that Eric Rowan and the Usos were on that shit immediately. Like, here's your peer, somebody that's arguably than the Usos and Rowan. Cass could potentially be looked at as somebody that's higher up on the card.
Yeah.
Now that happens back in the day. You step up out of turn against somebody that's at a higher level than you, you're gonna be thrown
Off
down.
television, yeah.
And not even because what you did was out of turn, because they have a little more stroke than you, and they're going to be not just listened to, but given favor because the money trumped everything.
Mm-hmm.
But now I hope we're getting to a time. You've seen when people F up, you can be gone in an instant.
Yep.
I don't care if you're a champ. Get the hell out because they won't tolerate that toxicity. And, man, if that can at some point filter down and make that the kind of the standard for a locker room and others follow suit. If you want to be big, the only way you can be big is by having a respectful locker room and people that work well together.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to the 90s, there's still the deathmatch stuff out there, but you got people that weren't as careful with other people's bodies.
Yeah.
That's become a bare minimum standard right now.
Mhm.
Hey, if you're known for hurting people because you're careless with their body, they don't want to work with you anymore.
You're done.
Sorry that you were getting a major push and you might have been somebody's secret son, but we can't have you hurting people. Sorry, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that, it stems out of not tolerating that behavior, like with the Elgin stuff that came out, a little bit of corroboration, enough to corroborate that, like, hey man, that's some shady, awful kind of. He's having a good New Japan run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's never going to have a WWE run.
No.
And if New Japan wants to crossover with ROH or crossover with Impact, I could see them going, I don't know, man, he's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Maybe leave him over there. And maybe even New Japan at one point says, oh, you got a rep, dude. What's going on?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, all I can hope for is that he cleaned up his act. Because, again, that's one of those dudes where it's like, oh, God, I enjoy watching him. I hate that.
Gross at the time, but be better. It's never too late to be a better person, dude.
Never.
Even if you're
Turn
garbage,
around.
you can make up for it, in some way. You can't make up for it. You can't make right all the wrongs you've done. But going forward, you can try to be better.
You can turn it around and try to be a better person.
Uh-huh.
And that's all anybody can do and try to be.
Yeah, and I just hope in general locker rooms and just the society gets better, and I hope that those little garbage places that want to be high schools with all their drama, they dry up and they go away, because who wants to deal with that shit?
Nobody.
Hold on, let me get down off of this soapbox that I have no business being on. There we go.
They're telling us that we have to go, Nathan.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 56
Oh, okay.
already.
You got any
wanna
other
go.
little tidbit at the end? Hold on. I threw junk in there.
Yeah, but we already talked about it. NXT.
I wish
takeover.
Trent Seven was my uncle, because he'd be the coolest friggin' uncle, dude.
I've got one.
What you got? Got something?
Lo Shirai
I
has signed to NXT. Yeah. Well, they were over in Japan.
You know what? She was my hope,
Yeah.
and I wanted her. But then they got Kairi Sane, and I was like, okay, this is good. I mean, she's not like the best, but she's amazing.
I had a ghoulish moment with Kairi Sane the other day.
What'd you do?
No, I don't want to talk about it on air because it was definitely ghoulish.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
mean to be.
You
but I
never
couldn't
meant
help
to
it.
be. You're a good dude. You have a rep. You know why? Because you live what you say, and you.
I live what I say.
Oh, for Christ's sake! I fall right into the garbage.
I live what I say. And what I say is, I love Liv Morgan. I live that.
Okay. Shirai
I live her.
coming to potentially NXT.
I mean, that I think they've all but said that
Very good.
because she came out during NXT while they were over there.
Ooh.
Yeah. They had the whole NXT gimmick up. And so, yeah,
Good stuff.
that'll be interesting. That women's division just keeps getting more and more stacked.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and like I said, they give the illusion of depth, and now they have actual depth. Fun stuff.
Somebody said, oh, they're just going to ruin her, I don't know. I don't feel like NXT has ruined anybody.
I'd rather get a shot at a big time and fail than never get a shot at all.
Also true. And
What does she do? I mean, worst case scenario, look, Tennille Dashwood's doing pretty fine.
absolutely.
Oh, they ruined Emma. Tennille Dashwood's doing friggin' fantastic.
Yep.
And can command. It's fine.
She can command big money, which is insane to think about in women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like before, she no woman could command any money on the indie scene.
Yeah.
And now she's been at WWE, and again,
Hey, who's the draw? Tennille Dashwood.
you ain't kidding, man. So I mean, at worst, her indie rate goes up. And that's the worst. That's the bottom line.
Mhm.
So I'm here for it. Let's do one of these. Telling us we have to go.
They do that. Seamless. Nice.
Almost.
I should have spoke over it. I was looking like, hey, this is where you should talk.
Might as well stand there and stare at it until it starts playing.
Hey, look, the light's green. Trap is clean. Hey, everybody. We're hashtag WrestlePals. If you'd like to check us out,
My friends are better than yours.
Facebook page, WrestlePals VA. Reach out on the Twitter, WrestlePals VA, or just put hashtag WrestlePals on anything. He will find it. He will find you. If you write it on your chest, he will come and look at it and go, hey, look. And then chop right across the chest. It's
I
classic.
got 600 suits.
Really? Do they have
They're
pants
all
or they?
Tanuki.
For Christ's sake. If you want to see any of the back catalog, YouTube's best repository for that. Go there, spell it out, hashtag WrestlePals.
Where can
you
we
can
find
watch. You can watch Justin get gradually thinner and me kind of plateau for the last 2 or 3 months.
Where can you find the fat catalog?
The fat catalog. Go back like 6 months and then go watch backwards. This is just here. We could do an impression. Want to do older Justin? Wrestling.
I'm still not thin. I'm gonna get there for you.
Yet.
Not Bay yet. Liv, I'm coming for you.
Hey, ew. Oh, that's, you know what? That's me. That's on me. It's not your fault. You, above board. Me, below deck. If you want an audio version, the best place to go, check out iTunes. Search hashtag WrestlePals. If you don't want to look at us, I understand. I get it. Whatever, man. Do it.
Unless you're Liv Morgan, then you should be watching the show.
Also available on Stitcher, Spotify someday. And let's see, if you want to get in touch with us individually, it ain't hard to get a hold of Justin Wilson. Hashtag WrestlePal Justin can be found at the Hulkster on Twitter.
It's a long distance flare chop to the other arm.
If you want to get in touch with me, do not message at the Nate Project.
Oh no, I gotta do that. Oh no, I gotta do that.
You shouldn't do that.
I'm just gonna retweet Jenny's
Why?
because
Rights hashtag
the show.
WrestlePals. Fucking what? At the Nate Project. At the Hulkster. At WrestlePals V8 or hashtag WrestlePals on anything you get a hold of us. I see it makes me uncomfortable. Thanks for that.
you're welcome. I'll tweet you another one
I know
as
you
soon as
will.
the show's over.
I know you will, Justin. You ready to get out of here?
Sure.
Want to claim our independence from these chairs?
Mm-hmm.
You goddamn right. Goddamn hashtag WrestlePals. Did I say hashtag? Damn it! I messed it up again!
I lost my keys and my little dog is bone. So I pick him up and I'm gonna carry home. But he a mean dog, bit me in the spare rib. And I'll take him home, put him in the baby crib. Yeah, I don't know the words, AJ Styles. You know what you are? You're phenomenal. Phenomenal.